Like and subscribe on the way in the door, people. I hope you all are having a great day today. All right, here we go, people. Today we are going to get a little controversial. I'm going to say something. And it hurts my heart to say this. Again, I was a huge Isiah Thomas fan at one point. But was Isiah Thomas the LeBron James of his era? What do I mean by that? Well, first of all, let me say this. Isiah Thomas had more talent, more skills than LeBron James could ever hope to have. So I'm not saying that. But what I do mean is this. Just like LeBron James has taken shortcuts to his success in this era, it could be argued, I would say more than an argument, I would say it's a fact that Isiah Thomas took shortcuts, so to speak, on the way to the Pistons back-to-back championships. And that was definitely the Jordan rules. But even outside of the Jordan rules, I mean, the Pistons were known for being rougher than the rest of the league. But definitely against the Bulls. Again, we all know that the Pistons played a style that could have potentially ended Mike's career at any time. I would argue that the style of ball Pistons were playing was cheating. It was cheating. And the kind of stuff that Isiah Thomas says nowadays, like, again, Jordan was a non-factor, oh, we beat Jordan. Ignoring things like the fact that Jordan didn't have a team. Again, for you fanboys, Scottie Pippen, it took him a few years to develop. Go check the numbers. And Isiah Thomas had a great team in '89. Isiah Thomas had a great team in 1989 and '90. He had Joe Dumars, Lane Beer, who was, he was more of a roughhouser. He was more of a bouncer for the team. But Adrian Dantley, Mark Aguirre, who a lot of people forget, Dennis Rodman, Vinny the Microwave Johnson, who I'm actually going to do a video on him. A couple of people have requested that. It's coming for sure. Rick Mahorn, another bouncer type force on the Pistons. John Sally, James Edwards, and some of those. But the Pistons had a great team. And Isiah Thomas never mentions that. So along with this team that they had that was much deeper than the Bulls, much more experienced than the Bulls, much more talent than the Bulls overall, along with that, they also had to try to injure Michael Jordan on every play. And this, Isiah Thomas never likes to admit to this. Again, I've done other videos on Isiah Thomas. Like I said, one of my biggest problems with Isiah Thomas is that he just doesn't fess up. And, even with getting left off the Dream Team, to me, he just doesn't fess up and like, look, these are the consequences for the style of ball that we played. A lot of people didn't like us. It is what it is. Own up to it. But he keeps trying to play these narratives much like LeBron James, like he doesn't know what everybody else is talking about. Oh, we didn't play any rougher than anyone else in the league. Again, Isiah Thomas, there were fans who were watching you back then. There were people like me who liked you and embraced that whole bad boy moniker. We embraced the fact that the Pistons played rougher than everybody else. But now Isiah, again, much like LeBron James, he doesn't know what everybody's talking about. He conveniently forgets how much better his team was than the Chicago Bulls. The same way that LeBron conveniently forgets that he's played on super teams. Super teams? What's that? I don't even know what a super team is. What's a super team? When you have 10 All-Stars? My team's only had 7 All-Stars. What are you talking about? But yeah, and essentially Isiah Thomas just does not take accountability, responsibility for how things played out. Much like your king, fanboys. But to me, things like this are a testament to how great Michael Jordan was. I just did another video about Isiah Thomas and the Pistons. Just kind of what if scenario. What if they didn't play those, what if they didn't play that rough style and, play football against the Bulls? Is it possible that the Bulls would have won earlier before Phil Jackson was even a coach? And I absolutely believe that was a possibility. However, I think at the end of the video, I posed a question to you guys, and that was, do you think that the Chicago Bulls would have had as great a career had they won earlier and not had to go through the Jordan rules? And my opinion on that is that Chicago wouldn't have been as great without going through those Jordan rules, without going through that ultra rough style of play that the Pistons provided. But again, we have to link this back to Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was so great as an individual that they had to design a whole style of play to stop one guy. Again, say what you want, but 89 Pistons swept everybody except the Chicago Bulls. And Chicago Bulls were up 2-1 in that series. So to me, this is a testament to how great Michael Jordan was as an individual, that a team had to devise a whole system to stop one player. A team had to devise a whole system to stop one player. And in light of recent events, in light of Dwayne Wade going on the Club Shay Shay podcast and talk about what prompted him being complicit in this whole scheme for LeBron to come to Miami, was another great player. Fanboys, Kobe Bryant. Dwayne Wade said that after they watched Kobe win his last championship, that's what got them scheming. And so it's just interesting to me that, Michael Jordan pretty much was so great that he, in a way, caused his own demise, so to speak, which in turn, because of Michael Jordan being who he was, actually made him even greater. So he was already so great that a team had to come up with a scheme to stop one man, which essentially made him even greater. And why is that, fanboys? That is because Michael Jordan had the will to overcome anything. It didn't matter what you put in front of him. His mentality was, I'm going to find a way to get past this. I'm going to find a way to overcome this. So in Isiah's attempt to cheat the game, he actually created an even bigger monster. Because like I said, I think it's very possible. Some people say that they don't think the Chicago Bulls would have beat those 89 Lakers. I think they had a good chance to beat them. I really do. But, that's neither here nor there. But I do believe had they won in 89, it would have changed the trajectory. Because like I said, what I do believe is that the Chicago Bulls as a team, that Pippen and Horace Grant and the rest of those guys, they needed to go through that fire to bring them up to level. And had they Had the Pistons never came up with the Jordan rules, that would have never happened. So if Chicago had won in '89 or won in '90, maybe we don't see a 6-0 Chicago. Because again, role players take on the mentality of their leader. And when you watch those Bulls from 91, 92, 93, coming back in 96, 97, 98, when you watch those teams, just like when you watch Kobe's Lakers with Paul Gasol being Kobe's right-hand man. When you watch those teams, you can see that the role players definitely take on the mentality of the leaders. And unfortunately, this can be said with LeBron, but except it's not for the better. You know, that the mistake that JR made in 2018, I feel like he would have only made that mistake on a team playing with LeBron, because LeBron's not a great leader. LeBron is an unsure leader. LeBron is an insecure leader. And that insecurity spreads itself into the rest of the team, which is why JR got that rebound and didn't know what was going on. And in turn, LeBron James employed his leadership tactics of passive aggressiveness, and we know the rest. But yeah, so I think Chicago absolutely needed to go through that. But anyway, getting back to Isiah Thomas. I got sidetracked. Getting back to Isiah Thomas, like, I'm really starting to feel like that the reason Isiah defends LeBron James so much, just like the rest of you fanboys, you defend LeBron James so much because you relate to him. Because you can relate to the insecurity. Because you can relate to the deception, to the lack of self-honesty. And this is Isiah Thomas. And at the end of the day, Isiah Thomas is trying to rewrite history. Especially, I feel like he's trying to rewrite it for the younger generation who weren't alive back there to see these things take place. But again, like I said, Isiah Thomas had a great team when they beat the Bulls. But anyway, we gonna hold up here. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think Isiah Thomas, with the exception of the talent and the skills that Isiah had over LeBron James, do you think that Isiah was more like the LeBron James of his era? Because he cannot seem to take accountability for anything that transpired back then. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. You all have a fantastic day, and I will see you next time. All right.